So the last but not least is Vincent Melanson, the Manager of Innovation and AI at Pomerleau.
Thank you. Well, I wish I had gone first though, seeing what everybody else is doing, but very impressed by the way. Good job. So yeah, Vincent Melanson, I work as a innovation and AI manager at Pomerleau. I've been there for 6 years. Um, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna skip the agenda. So yeah, I oversee the two teams right currently. So the R&D lab, which is in charge of everything that relates to TechWatch, academia and industrial partnerships. We look into things like IoT, AI, robotics, XR, metaverse, digital twins, and stuff like that. So we have a bunch of initiative, and the idea is always to build the business case, proof of concepts, and try to bring new technology in the construction for our operation and then corporate functions. I have a bachelor in construction engineering from the ETS, also a master's degree from the ETS with the focus on pre-construction, which is not something I really do at the moment, but they still have a high interest for me. So, for those of you who don't know Pomerleau, it's a Quebec-based company, headquarters also in Saint-Georges-de-Beauce, like Canam. We have approximately 5 billion in revenue annually right now, so we're still growing. We have offices all over Canada. The blue dots that you see are projects, not offices, obviously, but yeah, 5,000 employees. We have around 250 projects active each year right now. We do commercial, industrial, healthcare, residential as well, projects, civil infrastructure, bridges. We also have a sister company called Borea that does renewable energy in Canada, but also in the US. For Pomerleau, it's only in Canada, but for Borea, we have a few projects in the US right now. As for innovation, at Pomerleau, it started in 2012 with BIM. So we started using BIM technology on projects, but then quickly evolved into more than that, so more into virtual design and construction, robotics, IoT, as I mentioned. So robotics was a big focus a few years back. We're still into robotics, but now we shifted more towards AI in the last few years, I imagine a lot of other companies are doing. So currently we're kind of in the midst of our strategic planning where we're questioning ourselves. So where will we be in 2030 in terms of innovation and technology? So today I'm going to focus on AI and the initiative that we are putting in place for pre-construction, but we're looking into a lot more domains in the company and functions to be supported by AI. But since limited time, I'm going to talk about pre-construction. So first of all, the one of the questions that we needed to answer is, should we fear AI? Because when it started, when it became more mainstream a few years back with ChatGPT, a lot of people were worried about the impact that it could have, and not too sure if we should look into it or not. But it's important to understand that AI is a tool. It's not something that's there to replace people, but to support people. There's a study that was made by Forrester where it shows that there's a lot more jobs that will be influenced by generative AI, for example, than jobs that will disappear because of it. Also, what we want to leverage is the fact that because of AI, it costs a lot less to make predictions, and this is what I'm going to discuss in the two examples I'm going to show for pre-construction. Is that typically predictions were made by humans analyzing data and using their expertise and making these predictions. Now with AI, we can do a lot more prediction a lot faster. So basically, that's what we want to leverage here with our AI initiatives. Um, this is old. I'm sure everybody here know about that study where construction is shown as probably the worst industry for productivity improvement. This is an old study from 2019. It improved since then, but if we compare it with the other industry, it still shows that adoption, technology adoption, and digital shift is slow in construction. So this is what we're seeing with construction 4.0 that was mentioned earlier, but now a lot more technologies are being introduced in construction at the different levels. So why pre-construction? So pre-construction in that phase of a project is where it shapes about 80% of what the budget and timeline will look like for a project. If you are contractually obligated to binded to do a project in 24 months, and then you realize that you made a mistake, and it's going to be more 26 or 27 months, then you have problems. So the more precise you are in pre-construction, the less problems you're going to have in execution, obviously. There's a lot of data. As I mentioned, we are a 60-year-old company, more than that. So we have a lot of data from our past project that we were not really good at leveraging for current project. So we want to use AI to do that with a tool that has been announced, I think, last year called Almanac that we developed over the last few years. Reduce risks and also gain productivity in the pre-construction phase. For example, quantity takeoff, which is something that takes a lot of time and prone to human errors. So Almanac is a prediction tool for project costs. So basically, what we wanted to do is use the data from our past project and be able to quickly evaluate an opportunity, a new opportunity, how much it would cost for Pomerleau. So the idea was very simple. It's just to feed data to an algorithm, and then whenever there's a new opportunity, our pre-construction manager can just fill a sheet of some parameters and evaluate how much that project is worth. Not how much it's going to be awarded for, but how much Pomerleau would typically bid for that project. So the idea is to have a very quick idea of these costs, and it's not only like one line of cost, it gives some details. So this initiative started way before AI became mainstream, way before ChatGPT. So we worked with a startup that developed that for us. So we're currently still deploying it and starting the first use cases with that. But it works like this. So we have our bid results, and we have the bid results of the project with all the information on the cost of that project that was awarded, but also what we as Pomerleau bid on that project. And then we trained an AI model with this, and we came up with this algorithm that we have in Almanac. And whenever there's a new project, we have a sheet. It's very simple, like a few 10, 15 parameters that we fill. And then it looks into the database of our project and establish how much that would cost. So it looks like this. This is not a real use case, but basically we have this dashboard that with the level of confidence, we have the predicted total cost, direct costs, indirect costs, cost per square meter, and also cost per division to be able to. And the idea is to use this and then compare as we build the bid using this. We're not going to just use this and bid with that. Is to kickstart the analysis. Another initiative that we are doing is we are piloting a tool called Alice Technology, which is a schedule tool that does scenario prediction based on project constraints. So basically, it works by using recipes for schedule. So you're going to input the crew, equipment, production ratio, and dependencies between different tasks, and you build your small recipes. And then when you input this in the tool with your project constraints, it's going to generate dozens, hundreds, thousands of scenario for your schedule. And each of these scenario is a fully loaded schedule that you can then use in the platform or use in P6, for example. So what it does is it accelerate a lot the time for creating scenarios. Typically, a planner would take a week or two to make one scenario, maybe. Now you can have 100. For example, you want to optimize the time you use your crane on site because you have limited equipment, and then you can use this tool to shorten the schedule, or maybe it's going to make the schedule longer, but you're going to shorten the time you use your crane and then make those decisions with that. So currently piloting that. Yeah. So well, end with this. We have currently a AI roadmap in place, so we're building our foundation. But at the end of the day, what we want to do is domain transformation. We look at pre-construction is having AI in the whole process, but same thing for procurement, project execution. So we're putting that in place, and we have more than 50 strategic initiative now leveraging AI in the backlog. Thank you.